Happy Tuesday, everyone. Hopefully, you put that tough Eagles loss behind you on Sunday. Got a couple days to put that in the past. If you are an Eagles fan, I was frustrated, still am, still annoyed, but we got Thanksgiving coming up on Thursday. We got more Eagles football bouncing right back on Friday, on Black Friday, 3 o'clock game against the Chicago Bears. So there's that to look forward to. Again, we are here to talk about Phillies baseball, though, not Eagles football. Welcome to Phillies Daily, everybody. I'm your host, Mike Hennelly. Make sure you guys subscribe for more Phillies content right here on Phillies Daily. Much appreciated as always. We love the support, and I hope that you guys really enjoy this channel as well. Let's get right into it, to the Phillies offseason talk. Now, continuing the trend of these underrated minor league moves that could potentially have an impact on the Phillies this season in 2026. Last week on Friday, the Phillies claimed Pedro Leon off of waivers from the Baltimore Orioles. Now, Pedro Leon, he is a 27-year-old outfielder. He signed first with the Houston Astros organization back in 2021. Former top prospect in the Astros organization. In fact, he was ranked as high as their number 2 prospect there in Houston at one point. He was supposed to be a star in Major League Baseball. He had the skill set, he has the tools, he has everything you want in a star player. Again, very highly touted prospect, just hasn't been able to put it all together completely. Injuries, especially last year, I'll get to that in a moment, kind of derailed his career. He's got some swing and miss concerns as well that's kind of impacted him as well. But he is uber talented. He is a very, very good player, and maybe a change of scenery could be exactly what Pedro Leon needs, and that could come here with the Phillies, obviously, with him now in the organization. Now, he was claimed by the Orioles on November 6th of this month, and then very short stint there with the Orioles. He was actually DFA, designated for an assignment, just a few weeks later on November 18th, which is when the Phillies obviously ended up claiming him last Friday. 252 career hitter in the minor leagues with 77 home runs in 458 career minor league games. He had an excellent season in 2024 in AAA in the Astros organization. I believe they are the Sugarland Space Cowboys is their team, if I'm not mistaken. In that 2024 season, Pedro Leon batted .299 with 25 doubles, 2 triples, 24 home runs, 90 RBIs, and 29 stolen bases in 118 games there in AAA. He's a good defender. He's got very good speed. He's got power. So, everything you want in a player here for at the major league level. He just really hasn't been able to put it all together. He's a right-handed hitter. The Phillies obviously are looking for right-handed hitting outfield guys, outfield depth with power, with pop, and Pedro Leon has exactly that. He has also been in the 2020 club in each of his last 2 full seasons that he played in 2023 and 2024 in AAA in the Astros organization, meaning 20-plus home runs, 20-plus stolen bases in a season. So there's that power, there's that speed on display. He had a career-high 38 stolen bases in 2022 in AAA as well. So again, very speedy guy Leon is. He's primarily a center fielder, but he does have some experience in the other outfield spots in the corners, so I'm sure he could play there without a problem if he were to make it to the major league level and the Phillies needed him to play either left field or right field. But again, mostly a center fielder he is. He's also very versatile. He has some experience at second base, shortstop, and third base as well, so he can play some infield, play some outfield, obviously. The Phillies obviously value versatility, as do every Major League Baseball team, and Pedro Leon offers that to a ball club. He made his MLB debut with the Astros back in 2024. However, he only played in 7 games, and he only played in right field. He was 2 for 20 with a walk and 2 stolen bases in those 7 games with the Astros, so not a very good outing for him in his first taste of the major leagues after being a very good minor league player, especially in the 2024 season where he was just excellent there in AAA. Now, he had some knee issues this past year in 2025, limiting him to just 25 minor league games. He had a little rehab stint down in the rookie level, I believe, played like a handful of games, and then the rest came at AAA with the Sugarland Space Cowboys in the Astros organization. And again, only just those 25 games, so very small sample size in the 2025 season for Pedro Leon. But again, could be the exact kind of thing he needs moving on from the Astros as a once top prospect not working out in Baltimore in the 2 week or so span he was there during the offseason, and now coming to the Phillies organization, and maybe that change of scenery could be exactly what he needs, and to return to that level of talent and potential that the Astros and a lot of people around Major League Baseball thought he could reach. Still just 27 years old, so very underrated and low risk, high reward move for the Phillies, especially for a team with outfield uncertainty and needing a right-handed power bat. They got him. He'll likely start in AAA with the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs, but if he plays well there and the Phillies are struggling in the outfield, then we could see Pedro Leon get a shot at the Major League club in South Philadelphia, playing his home games at Citizens Bank Park. I like the move. Now, I wrote an article for one of the sites I write for, That Ball's Out of Here, on Fansided, about Pedro Leon and the move, and people were kind of all mixed reactions coming at me a little bit about how well and how much I like Pedro Leon. I don't see an issue with it. You're just taking a chance on this guy who was a former top prospect, ton of talent, ton of skill set, a great skill set, and still young enough that he can develop into something good for this team. It can't hurt you. You're signing this guy, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Who cares? Move on. It's not like you're signing this guy to a 10-year, $400 million contract. You're getting him for pretty much nothing, and here he is trying to prove himself in a new organization. Now, speaking of the outfield, the Phillies' current outfield options, we all know, isn't great. It was a weakness last year. A lot of uncertainty this year with Max Kepler, now a free agent. Nick Castellanos likely being traded or released. And some other guys their names been floated in trade rumors, such as Brandon Marsh, Johan Rojas, and others. But right now, the Phillies outfielders are obviously Pedro Leon now or in the organization. He's an option. And then at the Major League level, or potentially Major League level, you have Brandon Marsh, Johan Rojas, and Weston Wilson can play the outfield, as we all know. Then you have Gabriel Rincones Jr., who was added to the 40-man roster the other week to protect him from being eligible for the upcoming Rule 5 draft. So he's an option as well. He was playing in AAA last year with the Phillies organization, with the Iron Pigs. Then we obviously have Justin Crawford, their top outfield prospect, their number 3 prospect in the organization. He's expected to make the 26-man roster here with the Phillies in 2026 and have a shot finally at the Major League level. We're all excited about that. And then again, Nick Castellanos is under contract for the 2026 season, but we all know that he is likely being traded or released this offseason. So not a lot of options, not a lot of proven options in the Phillies outfield. That's why Pedro Leon could have a legitimate shot here in 2026 if he can put it all together, stay healthy, and maybe, just maybe, be a very good pickup for the Phillies. And a lot of other teams could be very upset that they did not put a claim in or did not get Pedro Leon off of waivers. Continuing the trend of outfield here on today's episode of Phillies Daily. Last week or over the weekend, I forget what day it was, but whenever the contracts had to be tendered to certain players or not tendered, making guys free agents, the Texas Rangers were of note there. They actually non-tendered 2 guys that could be potential fits for the Phillies. Today, I am talking about their outfielder / designated hitter, Adolis Garcia. You probably know Adolis Garcia's name. The Phillies were linked to him at the trade. They've been linked to him for trades in the past. He was an all-star. He was in the home run derby once, I believe, or he definitely was. I don't know if he was in there multiple times, but it definitely was a few years ago. The Rangers non-tendered Adolis Garcia, making him a free agent now. Jim Bowden, we all know, a very credible source, former GM, former everything, now an analyst and all that fun stuff in Major League Baseball. He immediately listed the Phillies, the Pirates, Pittsburgh Pirates, the Cleveland Guardians, and the Los Angeles Angels as the initial teams to watch for Adolis Garcia on the free agent market. And that leads me into the type of player Adolis Garcia is. Should the Phillies sign Adolis Garcia, take a chance on the veteran outfielder? He's 32 years old. He's only played right field and DH in 2024 and 2025 with the Rangers for the last 2 years, right field DH. However, most of his early years in Major League Baseball, he had significant experience at center field. Now that he's getting older, kind of shifting to that corner outfield spot and that DH role at times. He also has some experience at left field as well. Not much experience, but he can play all 3 outfield positions. Probably most suited for a corner spot now, though, at this point of his career, or DH. He's a 2-time All-Star. Back in 2021 and 2023, he was a Gold Glover in 2023, so he does play some good defense as well out there in the outfield. Above average power in Major League Baseball, maybe not on full display this past year in 2025. He struggled a bit, but in the past, he has displayed above average power. He had 31 home runs, back in 2021, 27 home runs in 2022, a career high 39 home runs in the 2023 season, and then he had 25 home runs in 2024. However, again, kind of struggled last year. This past year in 2025, a down season for Adolis Garcia. He batted just .227 with a .271 on base percentage, a .394 slug, .665 OPS, 28 doubles, 19 home runs, 75 RBIs. So really that power wasn't there with kind of a low slugging and a low OPS. Only those 19 home runs compared to some of his other numbers in previous years and 75 RBIs. But he still had some power, had some pop in his bat, and drove in some runs there for the Rangers. He offers some speed on the base pass as well. Now, maybe not as much as he used to back in his younger days, but he still does have some speed. And again, some good defense out there in the outfield as well, some power. He is a right-handed power bat, so there's that as well for the Phillies looking for that. And he had an incredible, if you remember, if you paid any attention to the 2023 MLB playoffs, he had an incredible performance in the Texas Rangers 2023 World Series Championship year. He was batted .323 with a 1.108 OPS, 8 home runs, and 22 RBIs in those playoffs in 2023 with the Rangers, and he was named the ALCS MVP that year. He was a big piece and a big reason why the Rangers won that World Series, and hopefully, even though he's a little bit older now, if the Phillies were to take a chance on Adolis Garcia, to put him out there in an uncertain outfield, give them a veteran, give them a guy who has a little bit of speed out there, has some good defense, former Gold Glover, has some power, right-handed bat. He can DH if Kyle Schwarber's not brought back here in free agency. You can use him as a DH at times or a full-time DH at this point in his career. Who knows? The options are there, but he kind of fell right into the Phillies' lap. I think they should take a chance on Adolis Garcia, especially if they can't get a guy like Kyle Tucker out there in the outfield this offseason in free agency. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Phillies Daily. I'm your host, Mike Kennelly. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe for more Phillies content right here on Phillies Daily. I appreciate each and every single one of you. I appreciate each of you commenting. It's fun going back and forth with you guys. I appreciate everything you guys do here for this channel. Hope you guys enjoy it. Fun offseason, so stay tuned, especially as we're getting closer and closer now to these winter meetings. This is when the free agents, the big moves start to happen, trades, free agency, everything. So I'll keep breaking down some options for the Phillies and news, obviously, when it is broken and things happen. Thank you guys again for watching, and as always, go Phils.